Hi there, welcome back to Football Spy, the internet's premier transfer talk show. We've got Adebayor, Aguero, Lescott, and of course some Carlos Tevez chat for you today. But we start with Chelsea, and a name I never thought I'd be mentioning here on Spy, Michael Essien. Now, I don't know whether he's just serious or angling for a nice fat new contract, but Essien has suddenly started talking about being interested in a move to one of the big Spanish clubs. This is what his agent Fabian Pivotal had to say on SkySports.com yesterday. He said some clubs are interested in Michael. He likes Chelsea very much, but football is football. And if Real Madrid, Barcelona or some other club make an offer, he needs to sit down and discuss what's best for him. Now, Essien would be a magnificent signing for either Real Madrid or Barcelona, as he's one of the most powerful midfielders in the world, not to mention versatile. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. Now, lots of you Arsenal fans keep bombarding me for news on a striker. We mentioned Marouane Chamakh at Bordeaux on the show last week, and the Times reckon he is indeed on his way in because Emmanuel Adebayor is on his way to AC Milan. Now, we're in regular touch with Adebayor's agent, who says that there have as yet been no offers for him, but then clearly we're in an extremely early stage of the transfer window, and Chelsea are still being linked with him, even though they've just bought in Sturridge from Man City. I think the move for Sturridge is much more sensible than bringing in Pato on big wages from Milan. Now, Setanta might have gone out of business, just sticking with Chelsea, but here is their website, that's still in operation, and their guys have got the AC Milan Supremo Galliani saying that they've rejected what he describes as a monumental bid for Pato. He won't say where it's from, so I'll leave that one up to you to decide. Just a note before I get to your messages to say that Birmingham have signed the young Man City keeper Joe Hart on loan. That's been confirmed this morning. Time for your messages, and it's still Carlos Tevez you want to talk about. I asked you the other day if he'd be hated by United fans if he went to City. On YouTube, Rory the Best is a tiny bit cheeky when he says he won't hate Tevez because Tevez knows he's not talented enough to get into the United side, so he's going to a smaller club like City. Scorer says, hey, Tevez won't be hated at all. We understand his situation. Bish Bash Bosh, however, says joining City would show us a complete lack of respect. And Drumsman says Tevez is already hated by United fans. Sheffield United fans. Very good. K Chang says Darren is 17 stone 7. Man, that dude is huge. Thank you. And a few of you asking about the permutations at City with Eto'o perhaps still to come. Well, Eto'o will disappear for 6 weeks for the African Nations Cup mid-season. Also, there are doubts about the fitness of both Santa Cruz and Bellamy, so I think they might be the ones who have to settle for places on the bench if Eto'o partners Tevez. Now, we're looking at every team in the Premier League ahead of the new season, and hopefully this one will answer a few questions for some of you because it's Liverpool we're focusing on today. Rafa Benitez has already wrapped up the signing of Glenn Johnson at right back, but he's got a huge fight on his hands to keep Alonso, Arbeloa and Mascherano, who wants his wages trebled at Anfield. In other words, Mascherano is asking for something so impossible that he knows the answer will be no, and then he can claim he's justified in leaving. Anyway, Rafa's looking to strengthen his defence even further with the Dinamo Moscow defender Leandro Fernandez. He's 26, he's strong, he's quick, he's very, very good in the air, and he should be a very good signing. We here, Liverpool, like him very much indeed. The interesting thing about Liverpool is that Rafa says he's got room for just one more signing, so clearly he's working on the basis that he's going to keep all his players. I think he needs a left winger or a top-class striker working on the basis that Cout's going to continue playing on the right. Ashley Young at Villa would be fantastic as he can play on the left or up front. I'd even enter the race for Zeko at Wolfsburg. AC Milan looked like giving up the ghost on him, but it could be a different story if Liverpool come in and offer him the chance to play in the Premier League. Now, you may remember 2 weeks ago, we were looking at replacements for Ronaldo at Man United. We mentioned the young Gremio player, Douglas Costa. Now, it must be the case that Sir Alex watches Football Spy because since then he's been bombarding Costa's agent with emails and texts. I'm just joking. But he has been in touch with Gremio only to find out that they want him to trigger Costa's £13.5 million release fee clause to get him. Now, Costa can't even get into the Gremio team at the moment. In fact, they tell me that he's also very immature as he was recently sent off just 20 minutes after coming off the bench. So be a bit careful, but it's nice to know that Sir Alex is indeed a Football Spy fan. Maybe you'd like to guess my weight. So more of your messages, and on the blog, Alan, yes, I think Benzema would be a good signing for Chelsea just in behind Drogba. Mark from Manchester, I do think there's a chance of a midfielder or two at United. I had Modric at Spurs mentioned the other day, and I think that wouldn't be a bad shout. And Goran says here, waking up to a sunny Gothenburg in Sweden, and some great news on Football Spy, thank you. Just on Glenn Johnson and Goran, I think it is a lot of money for a right back, although Rafa says that Pompey owed a lot of money from the Peter Crouch transfer, and so Liverpool actually haven't paid that much. Just very quickly, it's picture time, and I'm going to dig out a small prize for Brandon in the USA, because despite driving rain, he sneaked out of Sunday lunch with his family to go to Fort Phoenix in Massachusetts to show us that he's a Football Spy fan. A valiant effort, which I'm going to reward with a Championship Manager bag. Also, to Roy the Tiger, he's a Hull fan, and Boca de Jujiri in Venezuela, of all places, but he's originally from Whitby, of all places. Just to let you know, Roy, Hull are talking to Michael Owen this week. Keep them coming. Remember to take them in a place that helps me to know what country you're in, and hold up something to say that you're a fan of The Spy, like Brandon did. Or if you win a competition, you can send us a picture of yourself with the prize, like Nathan in Perth, Australia has done, complete with a note we sent him. Hope you like the boots, Nathan. 3 weeks ago, I told you about a rumour we were hearing at Arsenal about Cesc Fabregas. A few of you got in touch to say that you wouldn't miss him if he left. The rumour seems to be that Wenger would listen to offers for him. Well, the Mail seem to have heard the same rumour. The chap who's done this is a very well-respected journalist indeed, and he says that with Fiorentina midfielder Filippo Melo very much a target, and also the fact that Wenger's looking to change up the formation next season, maybe there could be some changes ahead. Arsenal fans, let me know what you think. Manchester United could be in for the Atletico Madrid forward Sergio Aguero. Manchester United not going to perhaps pay him as much as the 200k that he's after, but this is a star. I mentioned Costa being a bit raw and not quite ready yet, but at 21, Aguero really would be value for money, even if United were to buy out the £48 million contract that he has over in Spain. Man City like Johnny and Lescott. This is a son. Everton are going to fight tooth and nail to keep him, but I fear the team taking shape at City might be a bit too tempting for him. Just time to tell you that Football Spy is now on Twitter, but I've got no idea how to use it. They actually did show me, but I can't even remember my login, so I'll have to have another go. Hopefully we can have a chat on there. More Spy for you tomorrow. I'll see you then.